Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are going to be unpacking something truly fascinating today. We're looking at the exact blueprint of how someone goes from having absolutely nothing, literally zero, to building a billion-dollar empire. And right off the bat, I want to be super clear. This isn't some fake rah-rah motivational speech. We are diving deep into the actual structural game of wealth building, based directly on the source material we're analyzing today.
We usually just assume massive wealth is handed down, right? Like it's all just inherited money. But what if I told you that most billionaires actually didn't start rich? In fact, many of them were routinely rejected, completely broke, or even sleeping in their cars while failing over and over again. They didn't start with some massive advantage. They started at zero, just like a lot of us.
Okay, so here's the absolute golden rule for this whole explainer. Money doesn't come from working harder. Money comes from owning things that scale. The people who started with nothing and built empires, they deeply understood this fundamental secret. Extreme wealth is never, and I mean never, just about grinding out more hours at a job. It's entirely about ownership, specifically owning systems and assets that can scale up endlessly without requiring more of your physical time. So how exactly do they do it? Well, we're going to follow this roadmap step by step. First, getting that initial $1,000. Second, escaping the hourly trap. Third, building scalable systems. Fourth, tapping into the power of the internet. Fifth, letting compound interest do the heavy lifting. And finally, mastering the survival mindset. Let's jump in.
All right, step one, the first $1,000. We need to focus on skills right now, not the billions.
Look, when you're just starting out, your goal isn't actually to magically become a billionaire overnight. Your goal is simply to make your very first independent $1,000. Why? Because generating that first bit of money completely rewires your psychology. The average mindset is constantly complaining, oh, I need money to start a business. But the wealthy mindset, it flips that script entirely. They say, I need skills first. Acquiring high-value skills absolutely has to come before acquiring capital. So what kind of skills are we talking about here? We're talking high-income skills: sales, copywriting, video editing, coding, marketing, AI automation, and content creation. The pattern among the ultra-wealthy is basically undeniable. Skills first, money later. Just look at Elon Musk. Long before he made his billions, he sat down and taught himself coding. Jeff Bezos took the time to deeply understand the mechanics of the internet way before everyone else caught on. Mark Zuckerberg didn't start with a giant pile of cash. He started by building software right from his college dorm room, using these exact types of tools. Moving on to phase 2, escaping the hourly trap. You have to stop selling your time.
16. Think about that number for a second. That number represents a very dangerous cycle because it is the absolute physical limit of human labor in a single day. I mean, sure, you can work 10 hours, you can work 12 hours, you can even push yourself to the brink and work a grueling 16 hours, but eventually, you hit a wall. Time is strictly limited. Most people fall into the trap of selling their time directly for money, and that means their income will always have a hard ceiling.
So how do you break through that ceiling? One word: scale. Billionaires build systems that make money while they're literally fast asleep. Creating a digital asset acts like this beautiful, tireless machine that just constantly churns out value. Think about it. A single YouTube video can be uploaded once, right? But it can get millions of views over several years. Software can be coded once and sold infinitely to thousands of users. An online business runs 24/7 without you needing to stand there at a cash register. Even your investments are growing automatically in the background. But this takes a massive psychological shift. You have to permanently change your internal dialogue. Stop asking yourself, how much can I earn per hour? That just keeps you stuck on the hamster wheel. Instead, you have to start asking, how many people can this reach? When you shift your focus away from an hourly wage and start thinking about global reach and massive impact, it changes absolutely everything about how you build wealth. Which brings us to milestone 3, building scalable systems. And the secret here is solving massive problems. Here's the biggest open secret in business. Money always follows value. So step 1 is to identify a massive frustration. Look around you right now. What frustrates people on a daily basis? What tasks are wasting their precious time? What do you hear people constantly complaining about at the office or even at home? That exact friction, that annoyance, that is exactly where the money is hiding. Step 2, create a simple solution for that pain point. I mean, if you solve a massive problem, you can become massively rich. Think about the biggest companies in the world. Amazon, they simply made shopping infinitely easier. Apple made really complex technology simple and beautiful to use. Netflix came along and completely killed those annoying late fees at video rental stores. Every single billion-dollar company is built entirely on solving a pain point with a beautifully simple solution. And then step 3 is where you capture the value of the solution you've provided. And honestly, right now, we are sitting on the biggest opportunity in human history to do exactly this, and that is artificial intelligence. By using new tools like AI to solve problems faster and way more efficiently than ever before, you unlock unprecedented opportunities. Seriously, the people who understand AI early today could very well become the next generation of millionaires or even billionaires. Milestone 4 on our roadmap: the power of the internet. Going from factories to laptops. Think about it. In the past, if you wanted to build an empire, the physical barriers were insane. You needed massive physical factories, hundreds of employees, tons of upfront cash, and elite industry connections. But the present reality? It's completely wild. One single person, armed with nothing but a laptop, a decent Wi-Fi connection, a good idea, and the ability to capture attention, can build a global business. A teenager can create a viral app. A solo creator can build a massive, lucrative brand. The internet heavily rewards attention, and the people who can control attention today are the ones who control the money. Creators are quite literally becoming the new celebrities. All right, milestone 5, compound interest. This is all about letting your money work for you. Look, making money is obviously step 1, but investing, that is where your wealth actually explodes. Because the wealthy don't just work for their money, they force their money to work for them. To get that exponential compounding effect, they buy stocks, businesses, real estate, and digital assets. Over time, the math of compound interest becomes this unstoppable force. This is the exact formula that has built fortunes for generations. Warren Buffett is the perfect example. He became wealthy mainly because he invested consistently for decades, not because he was working more hours than the rest of us. Time is what multiplied his money. And that is exactly why starting early matters so much more than starting rich. And finally, our last section today, the survival mindset. It's all about delayed gratification. Here's the hard truth. Most people stay broke because their daily habits revolve around chasing cheap entertainment, avoiding all risk, fearing failure, and just constantly looking for a quick buck. But while the average person is doom scrolling on social media for 5 hours a day, the future millionaire is focused entirely on delayed gratification. They're spending those exact same hours learning, building, networking, and investing. They're totally willing to sacrifice their comfort today in order to guarantee their freedom tomorrow. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, this timeline requires some intense patience. Year 1 is all about learning those high-income skills in the background. Year 3 is where you're actively building those scalable systems. Year 5 is when you're heavily investing your returns. And honestly, it's not until year 10 or beyond that you finally become that quote-unquote overnight success. You have to remember, people openly laughed at Steve Jobs, they laughed at Elon Musk, and they laughed at Jeff Bezos during their years of invisible struggle. Everyone thinks you're crazy right up until the exact moment you win. The world ultimately rewards the people who can just survive the journey long enough. So, let's bring it all together and summarize this ultimate formula. Becoming extremely wealthy is definitely not about luck. It is a meticulous step-by-step system. Number 1, learn valuable high-income skills. Number 2, build scalable systems that solve massive problems. Number 3, leverage the unmatched power of the internet to capture attention. Number 4, invest your money consistently to harness compound interest. And number 5, stay patient and never, ever quit too early. So if you are sitting there starting from absolutely zero right now, please remember this one crucial takeaway. Your current situation does not decide your future. Only your decisions do. The person going through this explainer right now could very well take these steps and build the next massive empire tomorrow. So I guess the only question left for you is, what is going to be your very first business idea? Think big, start building, and I will see you in the next explainer.